Obviously, you did spend some time with the Church of Satan under LaVey initially. And just to understand what is the mindset, what is the philosophy of a Setian? What is that worldview like?
The Temple of Set was originally thought to take the context of what our original satanic experience had been out of the Judeo-Christian mythology system. And harking back to the original Church of Satan days, we were looking really to find the nature of what is generally called the human soul. In other words, what it is within us that animates us, that gives us freedom of decision, of conceptualization, the intellectual life force. The Church of Satan, of course, had a certain social criticism aspect to it, and it also liked to hold Judeo-Christianity's feet to the fire. After 10 years, both of those became sort of played out, and we were looking, as Obi-Wan Kenobi suggested to Luke Skywalker in the first Star Wars movie, to take a first step into a larger universe. So the Temple of Set exists to explore the self, the personality, and we do this through the media of ancient Egyptian religion, which we found to be the most sophisticated. So what you see in the Temple of Set is not anything with an agenda towards good or evil per se, but rather towards understanding consciousness, and once you understand consciousness, to maximize your personal use of it in such a way that you are not the slave to conventions or to propaganda of any sort, for that matter, so that you are in effect a God yourself, responsible for your own decisions concerning matters of good or evil or morality.
So, in the context of the prominence of mind, basically, there's the philosophy that all the universe is mental, right? It is a mental reality that we live in. It's mind that really dictates the reality we create. Would you say that, for example, during rituals that are conducted, that there are actually any entities, spirits, daemons, as they're called, that are actually invoked, or are they simply manifestations of one's own mind?
Well, as we understand the universes, there are actually two of them, what we call the objective universe, which would be the physical universe of matter, mass, and energy that we normally think of as our external natural environment. And then there is also each individual's subjective universe, which is the perception, the interpretation, and the expressions and impressions that you yourself both project into the objective universe and take in from it. So we actually operate in both of these contexts. What we call lesser black magic would consist of operations within the objective universe using little known or little understood laws to influence events and behavior and perceptions. And what we call greater black magic is probably more what you're thinking of in terms of ritual or ceremonial magic, which has to do with looking into yourself to explore and refine your own concept of yourself and your soul. Now, the question of, are there demons or are there entities sort of like you'd see in a horror movie? Well, no, not in the way that most people would think, but we view the consciousness as a particularization of a universal principle, which is what we refer to as Set, which is the source of all individual consciousnesses, a little bit like in the Platonic concept of forms or first principles. So what you're doing really in a ritual is activating your personal perceptions and your interpretations of these things to refine that image, to make it into something useful for you yourself.
But again, in your understanding, then you would say that there are no external entities that are conjured in these rituals that are external to you?
Well, that's true in the case of a greater black magical ritual when it is essentially between you and the source of your consciousness being set. If it is an operation of lesser black magic out in the material universe, then we understand and interact with what we refer to as the Neteru, the precise name in hieroglyphic for the Egyptian gods, which are the principles that govern the objective universe. They would be collectively referred to as natural law. So when we are attempting operations in the objective universe, then yes, you might say that we are invoking, if you'd like to use that term, various